At Killarney, they're going to be down Killarney next Saturday afternoon. You're going to see the Champion Grand Prix motorcycles in action. It's a nice big field with the Bridgestone GTIs. So good motor racing. It won't be on the box next week, but the week after that, from Port Elizabeth, we're going to have West Bank Modifieds, the Stanic Coastal Series. Maybe some of these Transvaal drivers will be down there as well, and also the Mintix Don Ford. So something to look forward to from Port Elizabeth. The Elder Scribanti circuit on Saturday, the 2nd of March, followed up by Swartkops on the 16th, always very good racing. And then the West Bank Modifieds and Formula V's are going to be at the Killarney circuit in Cape Town on the 23rd of March. Well, this is something a little bit different. We've had the national racing for the day. Sit back and enjoy this one. This is the Bridgestone Tyres Formula GTI Challenge. It's all practiced in little Golfs. There's a mixture of the jumbo Golfs. A lot of them are the old model Golfs, and they are prepared with loving care and driven at extremely fast speed, faster, funny enough, than some of the production cars. Peter de Weert won the first race. His wife also does a lot of driving. Angelique Tromp, Mrs. Angelique Tromp, was second in her car. Nico van Rensburg, amazing what he can do with his hands and making cars go quickly. And then we've got Jan Stradum coming next, just alongside Steve Rogers. And then we've got Peter Boyson next, and all very hot drivers. Well, Graham's going to find out a little bit more about GTI saloon car racing from Jan Stradum.
Thank you very much, Roger. Jan, jy is die voorsitter van die GTI club in Suid-Afrika. En ek sien nou hier op die Westspring rooster is net Volkswagen produkte wat dit is. Is dit die hele idee? Vertel ons 'n bietjie meer daarvan.
Ja, Graham, die GTI club is so 4 jaar oud en ons het sommer so, omdat die manne so lekker vinnige karretjies en speel, het ons besluit ons gaan ons eie renformule stig. En die ding het nou gegroei tot 'n redelike groterige formule. Dis ons eerste dag waar ons by 'n nasionale byeenkoms deelneem en dis vir ons baie lekker. Ons het so 4 of 5 klasse. Klas A is gemodifiseerd, klas B ook so semi-gemodifiseerd, klas C so min of meer groep N standaard en dan klas D standaardkarre en E natuurlik vir die beginners. So dis min of meer die konsep van ons GTI Challenge, die Bridgestone GTI Challenge.
Sê vir my, gaan ons julle op ander renbane in die land ook te sien kry?
O ja, ons is hierdie jaar uitgenooi na omtrent 8 nasionale byeenkomste en ons hoop natuurlik ook vir Kyalami, wat natuurlik vir ons 'n baie groot eer sal wees. Maar ons gaan Swartkops welkom en natuurlik Midvaal en Lichtenburg ook wees.
Ja, ek sien party van hierdie motors, Jan, die ouens het net gekom en 'n klomp plakkers opgeplak en ons is nou op televisie. Ek wonder wat gaan die ouens se vrouens sê as hulle nou vanaand tuis kom.
Ek dink hulle het sekere redelike stel probleme. Ons hoop nie daar's maatskappymotors nie, maar ja, dit is inkopiemotors in Swan en die manne gaan werk toe maandag met 'n paar van die klas D en E karre.
Ek hoop hulle is nog almal in een stuk na hierdie wedren. Jan Strydom, die voorsitter van die GTI klub. En Jan, sterkte met hierdie nuwe formule van julle.
Baie dankie.
Well, of course, they used to call it in the old days rent-a-racer. You'd get weekend rates as well, and then you'd just come along to the racetrack, race for a weekend, and then suddenly went back very low mileage. Tyres were very well worn, and it was probably the cheapest way to go racing, but that's all finished. We won't tell you any more secrets about that.
Absolutely not.
Well, Jan Stradum does a very fine job, and so does his wife in keeping them all together. They're beautifully turned out motocross. And these people live for these motocross. There's one Passat amongst them. We've got a Jetta, and then we've got the older models and the lighter model Golfs. Certainly motorsport and other sports going on around South Africa and around the world. Well, the man who won the last race, that's Mrs. Tromp there on the outside. It was Peter de Weert. You can nicely turn it. There's the little Fox, and you can see the Passat just behind. There's the Jetta, and there's the Passat. So all in there down. There's Jan Stradum, who you're speaking to, drives in Class C. That's I loved how he started as the modified, then slightly modified, and when he got down to Class C, they in fact are even less modified, and then they almost get to the standard, street standard ones in Class D. So there's great differential in the speed between the supermods. They've got slick tyres on them, the others on street tyres, and they're allowed to use Weber carbs, etc., etc., and they have great fun wherever they appear all around the country. Well turned out motorcars. 29 is Peter de Weert, the winner. There's Angelique Tromp next. There's Nico van Rensburg just behind him, Super Auto Tune. Used to be a partner of Henny van der Linde, the famous Henny van der Linde. do great things with motor cars, whether it be Volkswagens, Mazdas, Nissans, whatever, and make them really go. Toyotas, Mercedes, BMW, they come from that same camp of able to extract amazing amount of power out of small and big motors. They just have that touch and also the engineering ability. Right, well, we're just running about 10 minutes ahead of time. Well, the scheduled time was supposed to be 3:30 for this race, but I see we're about 10 minutes early, and this meeting's run very well to time down here at the Midvaal Summer Stroke Overcast Motor Races. And here they come. 33 in your picture at the back, there's Dale Kruger. 21, the little fox, is Johan Boyser. It's a Class C car, well identified, well turned out, and having a lot of fun. But the battle's going to be up front. Just watch it there. Peter de Weert, Angelique Tromp, Nico van Rensburg, Steve Rogers, Jan Stradum and Peter Boysen will be hard at it. They'll be stopping at the line now. As soon as they've lined up, the red light, as per GP's, Grand Prix will go to red. Don't forget the Grand Prix starts 10 minutes from Phoenix. Giving it a final rev up there just to clear plugs, etc. 42 in shot. There's Angelique Tromp. This is Angelique Tromp. This is her year. Jan Tromp, the husband, was driving it last year, and they share the car this year. She was telling me is her year, and he'll be supporting her in a racing list. Number one is okay, that should have been Peter Boysen's. It is. Nice field there of 20 odd motorcars, 21 motorcars. The way they goes to Weert away first. And Angelique Tromp has got Nico van Rensburg. No, she closes the gate on him. He's in third position there. And then Steve Rogers is on his tail. Heavy braking. This doesn't give you much time to sort yourself out. Boyce is there. The number one car, number two is Jan Stradum. Staying in there right with him. Nicely turned out. Very low profile tyres. This is sponsored by Bridgestone tyres. Japanese tyres. These are imported slicks on these cars as they are on the GTI racing as well. And we're bringing you this sport live on the Spare Channel. This is the Bridgestone Golf GTI Challenge. Coming towards us, 29, winner of the first race, Peter de Weert. And he's got a huge lead by these standards. Here comes Nico van Rensburg looking, he's not going to say ladies first here, is he? He's holding his line through the inside. He wants to get away from Angelique Tromp and get after that man in the front, Peter de Weert. There's been a lot of competition on there. Who can make Volkswagen Golf GTIs go quicker, de Weert or Nico van Rensburg? Super Tuna is from Johannesburg, Peter de Weert is from Pretoria.
Ja, ek het so 'n bietjie vroeër net voor uitgaan met hierdie wedren met Nico van Rensburg gesels, Roger. En hy het vir my gesê een van sy vonkpropdrade was nie reg op die eerste einde nie. So as ek my geld op iemand moet sit, dan gaan ek dit beslis op Nico van Rensburg sit in hierdie tweede einde. Maar ek dink ons moet eers wag tot die geruite vlag geval het voordat ons oor sulke dinge gesels. Maar soos ons vroeër gesê het, net die Volkswagen produkte word in hierdie klas gebruik en dis allerhande Volkswagen produkte, die Jettas en die ou Passats. Daar het ons so oogwink van hom gesien. 42 wat baie hard daar sou reis. Angelique Tromp, die enigste dame in die wedren. En ons probeer net gou uitvind wat daar aan die voortou gebeur. Nico van Rensburg was laaste tweede gewees. En kom ons kyk of hy hierdie uit in die keer kan wen. Nico van Rensburg wat baie vinnig nader skuif aan die man wat die eerste uit in gewen het, Pieter de Weert. En beslis gaan hy weet dat Nico van Rensburg op sy stert gaan wees hierdie uit, en dit is verseker. Jan Stradum ook nog lekker daarin. Manne ry baie hard, en soos Jan ons gesê het, party van die motors is gemodifiseer, en party bietjie minder, en party nog bietjie minder. Nou weet soos jy sê, Roger, 'n mens weet nie waar die bietjie minder ophou nie. Die goed lyk maar vir my almal redelik vinnig. 29 dan Pieter de Weert en Nico van Rensburg op sy stert as hulle daar deurkom. Angelique in die derde plek. Mens gaan sien Nico van Rensburg natuurlik 'n ou man, soos Roger gesê het, met renmotors voorberei, baie jare in die Nissan stal gery, en nou speel hy met die golfies hierso. Linkerhand se draai, die autokoop draai, en dan in die kortpylvak hier reg voor ons verby. En kom ons kyk of Nico van Rensburg het hierdie keer kan regkry. Pieter de Weert se kar baie vinnig. Nico van Rensburg kyk bly aan die buitekant, hoop om 'n vinniger lyn te kry, nader te kan skuif in die tweede draai. Hy vat hom aan die buitekant. Nico van Rensburg aan die buitekant, die linker agterwiel heeltemal in die lug. Wie die beter lyn, Nico van Rensburg vat hom daar. Nico van Rensburg van Super Auto Tune van die voortou in die Bridgestone Golf GTI wedren wat nou in die gang is, en al klaar begin hy wegtrek.
Interesting form of racing, of course, just Volkswagens, Golf GTIs and the likes, Foxes, and of course Passats and Jettas as well. one of each of the last three that I mentioned. And look at this. It's getting closer. Going to take him on the Drive Magazine corner. And he's got him. Got him through the corner. Peter de Waart back in the lead. So de Waart back in the lead, and Peter Boyston's going to have to try something. Going to have to try something now. Let's see what he can do. Round they come once again. Tyres smoking. It must be really expensive form of racing for them. So they've got to prepare those cars themselves and get everything together. And you heard earlier on Jan Swedem saying they're going all around the country and perhaps even to Kyalami sometime through the course of the year. They'd love to go there, of course. And who knows, maybe they will go to Kyalami. So it's car number 29 in the lead. That is Peter de Waart, and he is being chased very, very hard by Nico van Rensburg in car number 4. Round they come once again to complete another lap, or start another lap rather. They just completed one of their laps, and they are going on and on and on. The battle continues. In the first heat, which is the first race of the day, it was a lot closer. Angelique Tromp was involved there as well, but not this time. Not this time. Is he going to get him? Van Rensburg tries on the inside, going down that main straight into Drive corner. What's going to happen here? Let's just watch and see. On the inside, yes, car number 4, that is Nico van Rensburg. He's through again. So van Rensburg in the lead, and Tromp has now been pushed back to second position. And they're pulling away from Angelique Tromp. They're certainly pulling away from her. They're not giving her the opportunity of getting in this race. Peter de Waart there in second position, and in the lead is Nico van Rensburg.
I think what shows from this, Louis, is that it all depends on that long straight. The one gets the toe from the other. Whoever gets the toe down the straight can pull out and beat the other one. This is going to go, I should imagine, right to the last lap. Angelique Tromp comes through about 150 meters behind. And de Waart is trying to go through the inside, but van Rensburg, and that very potent little car comes through past our commentary box, really screaming along. So 4-cylinder, there's a lovely shot of it with Autocup and Bridgestone nicely turned out in the colour scheme. Now you'll see the speed of de Waart's car. He starts to get a slingshot out of Slubber through Meyerton corner. They've got to really just touch the brakes. Needs a big heart to come onto that straight, absolutely flat out. They've been lapping the circuit at about 1 minute 16. That's about 2 seconds a lap faster than the standard Group N cars, although you can't compare them. We've had the 4 laps gone, and look at that speed. Just look at that speed. So he gets in that little hole of air behind Van Rensburg. You can see how straight up it is at the back, so there's a big hole of air behind him, and de Waart has now gone to the front. So it's just what we were saying. Where you don't want to be is leading at the start of that straight. You want to be in second position on the last lap. It's like Formula Ford racing. You sit right in behind his gearbox, and as you go for the last braking mark, you take him at the end of the straight. So there's nothing between these two drivers. It's a battle, Pretoria versus Johannesburg. As far as tuning Volkswagen Golfs go, they get incredible amount of performance out of these cars. They come screaming past us here. Those motors sounding absolutely almost like GP cars here. They are revving them so high as they come through here. Half the race is gone. Angelique Tromp is in third spot. A little bit out of touch with these two men there. Nice close-up shot. Lovely shot there getting up close. You can see the low-profile tyres they have. They've got the slick tyres. Right now we'll see Van Rensburg do it again. You certainly get it. He's closed up on him. He's going to take him. This is very fast through that Meyerton corner. Here's Nico van Rensburg with half this race still to go. It's de Waart and van Rensburg as it stands now. Tromp and Stradum, you see just coming to the picture. He's pulling out. He's not worrying about it as he goes for the brake marks. And there's Jan Stradum. He's got his own little fight going on ahead of Steve Rogers just behind him. And this time it's Van Rensburg. So on the 6th lap, it's Van Rensburg. What you really want to do is just hold back there and just outfox the man ahead of you, because that is what's going to count at the end of this race. Whoever is leading at the start of the straight, I don't think is going to be able to hang on at the end of the straight. They pull each other along so well. In fact, you find going at about 200 k's an hour, if you're within about 20 meters of the car in front of you, actually push him along too. Coming past us, there's Van Vuren, another one that's starting to lap the tail end as they come out of Autocup corner. Angelique Tromp is getting a wee bit closer as well, and the Stradum dice is continuing. Right, de Waart says this is going to be my turn to get into the front, staying close up to the tail there. Nice shot of them. And Lou is saying an expensive way to prepare. They put a lot of money and a lot of preparation into this. Right, so Van Rensburg's in the front as they come through. Slab it into this main straight. Here they come now. This is the drag strip here at Midvaal. And let's just see the speed. And he's just turning it up, and here he comes. Makes all the difference every time. And this is certainly not playing. There's all sorts of things at stake here as they come up on Van Vuren, just ahead of them. So it's all going to go to the wire. We've now finished 6 laps. We're on lap 7 of this race. There's 8, 9, and 10 to go. 3.5 laps to go. Past Van Vuren there in the D-class car. Is he in a D-class car? He's in fact in an A-class car as they come past him. Must have some sort of problems. We'll go a little further back in the field in a moment or two just to show you who else is in this race. There's some good dicing going on a little further down the field. But the race for the front, this is where it all is there. For instance, number 5, there's Nico Ferreira in his Passat in Class D. He's going well, and here they come. Angelique Tromp comes into view at the background. She's got Van Vuren to pass. Here's Angelique, Mrs. Angelique Tromp, Jan Tromp's wife. And this is, as we say, is her year of racing this motor car. The others will be coming to sight right now. Here they come now. And Jan Stradum's given in there to Steve Rogers, it looks like. Steve Rogers comes through ahead of Jan Stradum. And just behind them, we've got Peter Boyson. That's Peter Boyson in shot now as he comes through. There's another 2 coming through now. Here they're coming through into sight now. There's the Dysat we saw just now. They've got round the circuit already. And that 6 and 32 is Trevor Anley, expected to do well in Class B, and Ian Paul, always prominent in the B class. Here's another 2 coming now, another few coming down the road now. As those others get a lot closer as they come down, there's Jaap Visser. It's number 19, Heathcote. And we've got a little way behind him, number 21 is Johan Boysen, back with the leaders. This time's at Peter de Weert. This is really a 10-10th race. When they get out of these motor cars before, they are going to be sweating it out from concentration. They are watching each other so closely where he makes a slip, where they can gain an advantage. And we've just got those 5 kilometers of this race to go. 8 laps have gone. 25 kilometers in all. Good, short, sharp racing. And we've got just that, we're on to lap and a half to go. And Van Rensburg, that's where he wants to be in the last lap. I would just stay, and if I was him, I'd stay exactly where he is.
That was going to be my question to you. Will he try and take him now down the final straight of this penultimate lap or not? It doesn't look, yes he is. And that could cost him the race. That could cost him the race. Unless he has some kind of tactic up his sleeve why he knows what he can do on the last lap. Van Rensburg now is letting him go through. Van Rensburg's letting him go through, just showing him that he's got the power. Now all of a sudden he's found himself in a spot of bother because he's in the lead, and he doesn't want to be in the lead, I would think, going into the final lap. Now it's maybe a case of them both slowing down. Neither of them wanting to be in the lead going into that final lap. Who knows? Van Rensburg, car number 4, and Peter de Weert in car number 29. That's the battle that's been going on right the way through this race. We've been treated to some superb racing by these GTIs. All Volkswagen components and Volkswagen motor cars, and let's just see what happens now. Maybe he's going to try and get a man in between him, because if he can get a back marker in between himself and de Weert, that's Van Rensburg, then he could be in with a chance. Let's see what happens now as he comes down and round to start their final lap. There's car number 33 going off, Dale Kruger, finding himself in a spot of bother, and it looks to me as though Van Rensburg is a lot further ahead than he normally would be going into that final straight, and he might be able to hold him off. Van Rensburg might just be able to hold him off. He's a long way ahead of him. He's a good 50 meters ahead of him as they go down that straight, and let's just see what happens as they come into the corner. I don't think he's going to catch him. I think Van Rensburg has been a bit too clever. Van Rensburg has been too clever. He's shut the door on de Weert, and Van Rensburg is leading. 600 meters to go of this race, and Van Rensburg has managed to keep him out down that back straight, and Van Rensburg is leading. de Weert's right behind him. They are absolutely flying, the two of them. They're trying absolutely everything, in particular de Weert, to try and get past him now, but it doesn't look to me as though he's going to be able to do it. It's going to have to be a mistake from one or two from de Weert that's going to have to let Van Rensburg through. Van Rensburg leads, in he comes. He's going to win this one, Van Rensburg. Over the line he goes. Great stuff by Van Rensburg, by Nico van Rensburg, but a great race put on by Nico van Rensburg and Peter de Weert. And coming through in third position was Angelique Tromp in car number 42 as the other cars streamed through the field. But a very, very interesting race, which was eventually won by Nico van Rensburg in car number 4. And great tactical race between the two of them.
Your money was on that one, Graham, wasn't it?
Most definitely, and good investment.
Yeah, a very good. That's a good tactical race. It just shows a lot of experience. He actually built the car that Johan could see won the West Bank Modified Championships, and he's won it 2 years in a row. Nico van Rensburg built that car and then went into this form of racing, also does Castle Clubs, and really does shine. A very talented driver, a talented preparer of a car, and a tactician as well. He knows what he needs to do to make a car win motor races. And you saw it there, and a little bit of luck came his way when that car got in between them, Van Vuren, or whoever it was going to, it was Dale Kruger. And I think he just got the jump in him, as you were just saying before, as he went into that corner, is he going to get a car in between him? And he got that. So there he is. And that's Nico van Rensburg, put on a fine race there. In picture now is Dave Ray coming in there. Well, that's the motorsport from the Midvaal summer races here this afternoon. And we hope you've enjoyed it. We've been talking to the drivers as we show you the results of this Bridgestone GTI, Volkswagen GTI race. Nico van Rensburg just getting the jump on Peter de Weert ahead of Mrs. Angelique Tromp and Steve Rogers. So let's have a look at some of the other results.